Secret number 6, the sequence of events. I was first introduced to this concept of sequence of events. What task do you perform first? What task do you perform second? And what task do you perform last? When I was, I think, about 8 years old by my stepmother. She thought it was the right time to introduce this concept to me to help me with life, with everything. Okay? So she sat me down and she very patiently tried to explain this concept to me by using domestic duty as an example. Okay, my stepmother was actually a medical doctor. Actually, she was 2 medical doctors in one. She went to a medical school and became a licensed medical doctor for Western medicine. And she also learned from her grandfather, and she also went to school for it again and became a licensed Chinese herbal doctor. So this lady is 2 medical doctors in one and spoke 3 languages. And she was using domestic duty as an educational example to teach me the concept of a sequence of events. Okay, and I was about 8 years old. And it's such a good lesson that she taught me at such a young age. Okay, I benefited from it ever since. And the example she gave me was, let's say it's a Sunday morning, and then that's her, the stepmother, I need to do some domestic duties. I need to wash everyone's clothing, and I need to wash the bed sheets, and I also need to clean the house, and I need to cook. And which one would I start first, and which one would I start second? I sat there being 8 years old. Okay, I had no idea. And the domestic duty that I was able to perform and I participated, okay, was, I think, taking out the trash, all right, and doing dishes. And I could do some light cooking on my own. Oh, by the way, I cooked my own first meal by using a coal-firing stove. And I basically heated up some, what you would call steamed bread. And it was a coal-firing stove. I didn't leave the stove; it was already on, and I was 4 years old. Okay, I was hungry, so by the age of 8, I was able to do dishes. I could chop vegetables and all that, and I knew how to take out the trash, but I had no concept of project management in terms of domestic duties. Okay, so she threw this hypothetical question at me, which is, real life for her. So on a Sunday, okay, you or I or a person, he or she needs to do the laundry and clean the house, and then cook a meal. Okay, which one should you do first? Which one should you start first? I had no idea. I just sat there. I was 8 years old. I said I have no idea. So she explained you should start with the laundry first because okay, not only was it done by hand. Okay, there's no washing machine to speak of. You need to hang it under the sun during the day. So you want as much duration of sunshine as possible, which means you want to start hanging them out there as early as possible, which means you should start doing your laundry as your first task, okay? And then while they're hanging out there in the sun to dry, you should do your cleaning and then your cooking and so on and so forth. And then by the end of the day, if your calculation was right about the amount of sunshine and the way you hang them, okay, they should be dry just before the sun goes out. And also, between clothing and then bed sheets, which one should you do first? Okay, the answer is bed sheets, because bed sheets need to be available for the night to be used again. Okay, but clothing, there are still some clean clothing that you could use for Monday, for tomorrow. You don't need all of your washing to be dry by tomorrow. So you should wash your bed sheets first, hang them out there ASAP, so they get to enjoy as much daylight, sunshine, as many hours of sunshine as possible. And then you should wash your other clothing second and hang them out there. And, well, at that time, it was hand washing and then hanging them under the sun. But if you think about it, even if you had washing machine, you have a dryer, the same principle applies. Okay? You want to start a load of laundry first, even if you have the washing machine, because it runs on its own. Okay, and when it's done, you take it out, you put it in the dryer, let it run on its own, and then you go out, do your cleaning and your cooking, your meal preparation. Okay, that is just a very effective educational example to illustrate the concept of sequence of events and planning, and which task should you start first, because some tasks require timing or time to be completed, and then they can be completed on their own. So you should start them first and let them go on there and do their own thing, which is in this case under the sun. So set it up, let it brew, let it work on its own. Okay. So how about other things? Okay. If you want to further analyze this concept, domestic duties of all sorts makes very good study examples for you to utilize, to illustrate. Be it cooking a family meal or doing a barbecue for a party. Okay, there are certain sequences that you need to follow. You need to do certain things first and do certain things second and do certain things last. Okay, even if, say, you are, getting things ready for a party tomorrow, you sort of want to go get the soda the night before and put them in the family refrigerator the night before so they chill off, right? And if you were to put the soda cans or beer cans in a cooler, okay, be it they are pre-chilled or they are warm, they need to be chilled, you sort of want to put the soda can, the beer can in the cooler first, and then you add the ice on top, right? You sort of don't want to have the ice in the cooler first, and then put your beer can and your soda can on top. That is the wrong sequence, both in terms of space and also in terms of timing. Okay, so use your domestic duties as study cases, okay, to analyze the concept of sequence of events. All right. Next example. Okay, should you pump gas tonight or should you pump gas in the morning? You should pump gas the night before on the way home, not in the morning on the way to work, because you don't know what might happen on the way to work. The gas station you plan to use, they might run into a problem in the morning. There might be, say, a power outage, so their pumps wouldn't work in the morning. And there might be a traffic accident, and you cannot reach that particular gas station that you had on your mind. Or something might happen and cause you to run late in the morning. So you should pump gas late at night on the way to home from work. And also, pumping gas is something that you do all the time, so it's not an intellectual challenge. And you could do it while you're tired after a long day of work, and you do it when you're tired just before you reach home. Okay, you don't want to spend or waste your morning time when you are intellectually at your best on mundane tasks like pumping gas. All right, that is not the best use of your fresh minds, your sharp minds. Okay. Sure, they're 24 hours a day, but your ability to think, your mind is not at the same ability level throughout that 24 hours. In the morning, after a good night of sleep, after a good shower, after coffee or breakfast or what have you, okay, your mind is at its best. Why waste it, on pumping gas? That is something you should do when your mind is not at the sharpest. When your mind is at its sharpest, it should be reserved for something that requires a heavier duty of a brain. All right. Next example. Should you plan the day in the morning or should you plan the day the night before? You should always plan and review your calendars for tomorrow the night before. Okay. There are certain advantages. For example, at night, you're not in a hurry. You're not in a rush. Okay. So your mood is more relaxed to plan long term. All right, you're done working, you're done doing productive things. So you're in the mood of looking forward to tomorrow after a night of resting. So number one. Number two, when you plan what you're going to do tomorrow, when you go to sleep, your subconscious mind is working for you on those projects, those tasks you will be performing tomorrow. All right, and also it helps you to get up in the morning, to roll out of bed. When you wake up, you'll be thinking, oh, I got, these 3 things to do, and I'm looking forward to doing them, as opposed to laying in bed in what I'm going to do with my life today. So you should always plan tomorrow the night before, and you should review your planned tasks, activities the night before, and even getting all the tools, all the things ready. If you need to put a briefcase in the car, and if your car is in your garage, if you need to bring a book to the office, you might want to put the book in the car the night before. You might want to rearrange your briefcase, what needs to be in it, what needs to be taken out. It was used today, but I don't need it tomorrow. You should do all of that stuff the night before, all right? Metaphorically speaking, you should sharpen your pencils the night before, but not in the morning when your mind is at its best. The next example is, let's say you have some document you need to compose. It can be a difficult email or just some document, okay? You should start, okay, putting words on paper or typing words onto your computer ASAP, first draft, okay? Without worrying about proper grammar, proper using of words, and be polite about it, and changing the word to a word that's more diplomatic. And if it's an email, I highly, highly recommend, okay, don't put in the to field, okay, to, John Smith, until the email is completely completed. Because without anything in the to field, okay, it prevents you accidentally from hitting the send button and sending an unfinished draft email off, all right? So I know the software has, the to field on the very top, but you should do that the very last, okay? You should fully compose the email, check everything, and then when you're really ready to send it off, put in who you're going to send it to, John Smith, in the to field. And you should start with a rough draft ASAP. Get whatever is on your mind, out of your mind, okay, onto paper. So you don't have to think about the what you're going to say, okay? Once you have it on paper, you'll be thinking about how to say what you're going to say better, more effective, or more diplomatic. Do I want to structure it this way? Do I want to structure it that way? Your first draft, okay, don't worry about structure, syntax, grammar, or any of that stuff. Spelling, okay, just whatever comes to your mind, just type it very quickly. Just have it down. So you don't have to carry it with you in your head. It costs you a lot of energy, okay? And then once you have done the very first dirty, rough draft, okay, you can go off and busy doing something else. And what's going to happen is your subconscious mind will work on it without wasting any of your time, okay? You'll be doing other things, be it requires your intellect, or be they mundane, or just manual labor, or just domestic household chores, or what have you. And then new ideas and new versions of the same idea will come to you. And then when they come to you, okay, catch them, okay? Be it go back to your computer, type it in there, modify it, or if you carry pen and paper on you, or you have a voice recorder, or you make a phone call to yourself, I don't care what you use. So when new ideas come to you, when inspiration comes, you got to have a mechanical means of catching it. Doing it this way, okay, doing it, and then go do something else. And when ideas come, go back to this difficult long document, okay, keep on at it. And what appears to be what you thought is a long and difficult document, and you did it 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there, over a day, over 2 days, and it's now highly polished. And you did it, okay? And it wasn't as painful because you utilized human nature. You caught whatever came to your mind when it came to your mind, and you put it down on paper. And you never felt any pain about doing this task. And the whole thing was nothing but a joy. All right? So that's the power of sequence of events. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So this way, when I release new educational videos, you will be notified and you will be the first to learn. And also, make sure you send this video to as many people as possible so we can all learn and grow together and help each other to grow together. We're in this together. And if you need private coaching, business consulting, or training, feel free to contact me. And my contact details are linked below.